On Arran, there is a famous stone sitting shoreward on this limestone island. It is obviously metamorphic, obviously erratic, brought there from the South Connemara coast during the Ice Age. Reasonable it might be to search for a certain kind of lichen on it, or for a tuft of sea pinks in a crevice of it. But it would be not a little odd, given its igneous, metamorphic origins and history. To search for fossil crinoids or carboniferous seashells in it. And yet there is, it is claimed, something odd, even something miraculous about this rock. In Ireland's dream time, or I should say, in Ireland, when it was Christian dream time in it, this stone transforming itself would be a boat. Seaworthy in all weathers, on all seas, supernatural and natural. Along Cullenkill. A boat for the wonder-working, big, strong saints, strong in muscle and mind, that came and went between the islands, that came and went, miracles happening everywhere about them, between the islands and the mainland. So why not seek for crinoids alive and gently waving in this rock? Why limit it? Why limit it? Why limit it? Looking at it with gorgon eyes to the hard geological fact of it. The universe, Harding said, is queer. It's queerer, he said, than we can imagine. Ha! 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 But isn't it we who are queer? Queer above all. And then after a few years in it, we begin to take this world for granted. Certain it is. Certain it is. Certain it is that empirical, economic, everydayness is an enchantment. Cooperating unconsciously with it, hypnotically with it, we maintain it with multifarious, immense energy. In Dreamtime Ireland, Lear was a king. In Dreamtime Ireland. Isn't it time? Isn't it time? After centuries of uncharted exile, that we ourselves came home. Here, isn't it time? Coming in our Dreamtime stone boats, that we came home to Dreamtime Ireland. Isn't it time? Dropping our purely biological understanding of ourselves. That we followed the salmon-broken, rock-broken river into Fódhla. Fódhla is Dreamtime. Fódhla is stone boat tide. Hey, all the rivers of Fódhla have their source in an otherworld well. The well of Fódhla. And every now and then, a hazel that grows over it drops a kernel of wisdom into it. Under Ireland's fields is Fódhla. Before Ireland's fences is the great world. Ireland and the great world, distant from each other by only a single footstep. But in that footstep, our perilous journeys. In it are initiations. In it are caves and transformations. In it is the road whose two sides come together. In it is being challenged. It is suddenly changed place by Curie McDonough. That's Curie McDonough. Like a Jew, the fields and fences of Ireland had lifted and dispersed. In my eyes also, and in my mind, a mist had dispersed. And there it was before me, Fódhla, the great world. Oh, before me, but not yet open to me. It was during this last Imram we came to know that it is only when we consent to be dreamed by something that we can cross into the dream time. Dreamed by a rock, or an ant, or a star, or a sea. Hell, sometimes it is only when we consent to be dreamed by the nothing that was before anything was that we can cross into it. But crossing into it, our voyage becomes an Imram. Sitting on a rock, my back to the sea. I waited, consenting to be whatever the rock dreamed me to be. Setting out, I knew that any deep river I came to, I would, going down into it, become an otter. Any wood I came to, I knew that going through it, I'd be a fox on the sides of wild mountains. I'd be a deer on the icy, precipitous summits. I would be sure-footed. Up there, I would have a goat's head for heights. And how blue in the valley below is the smoke from Fintan McBocra's chimney. Ha! Ha 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 ha! His threshold was of bog oak. I sat by his fire in a chair of bog oak, by a fire of bog oak. 5 fires had died before he looked at me. You've come in, but you aren't inside. 5 fires later he came back in, having yet again carried out the ashes. I was standing a while by the river, he said. A salmon leapt. Out through my mirrored heart he leapt, falling back, splashing back through my mirrored head. That explains it, he said. That's why I am salmon bright, salmon strong, he said. As the fire faded, his salmon brightness faded. He looked at me. You've come in, but you aren't inside. It is only through a story that you can come in. So, fuck it, I told a story. Once upon a time there was a man who lived alone. Every day, even on bad winter days, he went into the forest hunting. Coming home one evening, he saw some clothes of his hanging out to dry. Going inside, he was surprised to see how clean and tidy his house was. There was a freshly made fire and a hot meal on the table. Again, the next evening, there was a fire and a meal, steam rising from it, and his clothes washed and dried had been beautifully mended. He left as usual for the forest early next morning, but he didn't go all the way. Ha! Curious to know who it was, he turned back, hiding himself in some bushes not far from his house. After a while, he saw a fox trotting towards his door. The fox went in. Not long after, the hunter went in. There was a woman making a fire and a fox skin hanging on the back of the door. I'm your wife now, the woman said. You know, they live together, happily. Until one night, the man started to notice, started to complain about a bad smell in the house. A fox smell, he said. I can't stand it, he said. So you know, that woman got up. She went to the door, taking out the fox skin, she put it on. A fox again! She fucked off into the wilderness. Gradually, as I told the story, his salmon brightness came back, and I knew I was inside. Because now, for the first time, I could go out. I was standing by the river. The salmon leapt out through my mirrored heart. He leapt, falling back, splashing back through my mirrored head. You are salmon strong, Fódhla said. Until he spoke, walking away and standing beside me. You are salmon strong, salmon bright, he said. Are you listening? You are salmon strong, salmon bright. Now you can go there. Now you can go to Cunla's well. Cunla's well is in the other world. This world and the other world are the same great world. It's in the other world. A hazel growing over it, the Cunla's well is. I didn't know I wanted to go to Cunla's well, I said. Anyone who comes this far, that's what he said. Anyone who comes this far must want to go that far. Having come this far, you must, to avoid calamity, go that far. The salmon has leapt, so now you must go. It's in the other world. A hazel grows over it, and all the rivers of the great world flows through it. Rivers of the great life outside us. Rivers of the great life inside us. Was it in a river inside? Was it in a river outside? The salmon left the ass. He didn't wait or expect for an answer. He crossed his boggled threshold into his house. And I would be here, he said. I would be here on the boggled rafters by a boggled fire when his voyage haven't become an opera, or a journey haven't become an improv. Someone else will come this way, and awake, but yet being dreamed. the precipitous icy summit, that person who comes looking down will say, how blue in the valley below is the smoke from Finton McBoker's chimney. A metamorphic erratic on the shore of a limestone island, a geologist might say. During the Christian phase of Ireland's Dreamtime, it was, local legend would say, a stone boat. Then, as now, a boulder. It would in the Dreamtime open out and be a boat. Seaworthy in all weathers, on all seas, supernatural and natural, Mullane Columkill. A reminder that Ireland also had its Dreamtime. A reminder that under Ireland's fields is Fódhla. A reminder that an ordinary journey can become an octra. A reminder that an ordinary voyage can become an imram. A metamorphic erratic, a dreaming lobe of Dreamtime Ireland, Mullane Columkill. Reminding us that Ireland is transitory. Fódhla, Fódhla, Fódhla is forever. There was this outcrop. Before me was a wide water, flat and black. Coming towards me, across it came a spear, as long and as black as a winter's night. It went through me. It opened a wound as big as a door in me, and I walked through it. Into the same everyday world, but how different it all was. How strange it all was. And now on the shore below me of the wide water was a boatman and a boat. He would row me over. In the dark, my salmon brightness died. There was no shadow or image of oars in the water. There was no image or shadow of us in the water. It was only the creaking of the oars in their thole holds. I said the creaking of the oars in their thole holds. The creaking of the oars in their thole holes was impermeable to mind. They weren't hospitable, not even externally to mind. There was no door in them through which mind might enter and find night lodgings. They wouldn't be roost to mind. They wouldn't collude with mind, not even to the extent of pretending that reality was possible. They wouldn't be an object to mind. On that wide water, flat and black, fuck, mind was on its own, having only its own hallucinations to lay its head on. I mean, were he a cliff, the boatman would echo my words. He didn't echo my words. He was impermeable to my words. No word of his or mine came back to me, giving evidence of a world. Imagining died. Hallucinating died. There wasn't in the end anything within mind with which mind could go mad. Mind died. Like birth cries, the stars are. How real rocks are. In this unworldly world, how wet river water is. River water is. On the sides of wild mountains, I am a deer. On the icy, precipitous summits, I am a goat.